Hello, I'm Richard Blake, the historical novelist. Today I will not be talking about any of the books I've written. What I will be doing today is replacing the cooling fan in my notebook computer, which is a Samsung NP550. Now if you move the camera a little closer, you will hear that it sounds remarkably like an electric toothbrush. The noise is a nuisance. It is displeasing, especially if you're using the computer in a library or a railway train, or if you're just listening to it yourself. It's also rather dangerous because the noise from the fan shows that something has gone wrong with the fan, and inside these computers you have a mass of tightly packed components which get very hot, and if the fan is not efficiently moving heat out of the case, what will happen is that eventually you will have component death, at which point you throw the computer into the bin. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. The computer may be 4 years old, but it has a 1 terabyte hard disk, it has 6 gigabytes of RAM. I can't tell you with any exactitude what the processor is, but it is certainly good enough to cook this video. Although 4 years old, this is a very good computer. I've written 6 books on it, and I rather hope it will last long enough for me to write another 6. And for that reason, I am going to take this to pieces, replace the fan, and then I'm going to put it all back together so that there are no screws left over. In no particular order, you will need the following. New fan, £5 eBay, or you may pick it up in Maplins, but best to buy the original part from eBay. Electronic screwdrivers, Maplins. A table knife, the use of which I will demonstrate shortly. Thermal paste, very important stuff, thermal paste. I would call this essential. Again, probably Maplins, PC World, eBay, virtually anywhere. Alcohol. The alcohol is needed for cleaning. I have it in a spray bottle. 1 tin of compressed air. You will be surprised, or you may be surprised, by the amount of dust that you can find in most electronic equipment that hasn't been opened for a while. 2 pieces of kitchen towel, the use of which again I will demonstrate, and some heavy cloth. A towel. I'm using one of my old t-shirts taken from the washing. The reason you want this is because if you try opening up a notebook computer on a shiny surface such as this table, it might, indeed it will, slip, and then it won't be a question of replacing the fan. You'll be replacing the hard disk or the processor or the CD-ROM, or indeed once you get to that level of replacement you will be looking for a new computer. And so you put this piece of heavy cloth on the table to hold the computer steady, and if by any misfortune the computer should slip, it will land on a soft surface. So with these essential pieces of equipment ready to hand, we begin on dismantling the computer. We begin by unplugging the computer. You wouldn't want to do this with electricity going through the thing. It probably won't give you a shock. It won't give you a shock, but it'll probably give a nasty shock to the computer. Now, that being done, we take the piece of heavy cloth that I mentioned, which is my rather smelly t-shirt. We arrange it so that it's reasonably flat. We want a surface that is soft, but which does not obstruct the work that we are proposing to do. You turn the computer upside down so that you can get at the screws. We have the electronic screwdrivers, and we also have this piece of kitchen towel, which is in the frame.
Almost, yeah. Parts for it.
Good. We take out all of the screws from the case. And when I say all of the screws, I mean all of the screws. You really don't want... wrong one. You really don't want to leave any screws behind here.
I need to turn it a bit.
Not a magnetic screwdriver, unfortunately, but it doesn't matter. I'll just knock the screws out once we have them loose. Now, is that all the screws? Looks like it. There's the small one here, which needs to come out with a smaller screwdriver. Mustn't strip them. There it comes. So, this comes out, it goes there, and you turn the computer gently upside down so that the screws come out like so. Put them onto the white kitchen towel. You don't want to lose these things, because although there is a certain redundancy where screws are concerned, especially in equipment like this, most of the screws are necessary. You carry this computer around with you, and you don't want it knocking around with screws missing. Okay, I've unscrewed this plate. I now remove it, like so, and I put it out of the way. There's the hard disk, for some reason best known to Samsung. The hard disk is put so close to the bottom of the case that it's very difficult not to shake it around. But I've had this machine for 4 years, and I'm not aware of any difficulties as yet with the hard disk. But although you don't take the hard disk out, you need to undo these 4 screws, because without these 4 screws undone, the cover won't come off. So undo, get the screws onto your piece of kitchen towel. Now this should allow the case to come off. Any screws in here that I have not taken out? Oh yes, here's one. There's one screw that I haven't taken out, so that has to come out directly. There we go. I've complained about the presence of the hard disk so close to the bottom of the case. On the other hand, you can get at it. Whereas there have been, I have taken notebook computers to pieces where you had to take out repeated layers of components before you could get to the hard disk, so I won't complain about this. You can see that the memory sticks are also easily got at. I don't need to touch those at the moment. Now, we need to get the case off, and this is where the table knife comes in useful. The bottom of the case is clipped in. So you need to, let me try to get some leverage here. What you do not want to do under any circumstances is to crack the case or even to force it. You want it to come gently off. You want it to come gently, oh that's it, gently out so that it can go gently back in. You can spin it round a bit so that you can see what I'm doing. And
which one is the zoom in?
Try it. My daughter is zooming in at the moment. Right, let's see what I can do with my left hand.
Yeah.
That's it,
Got
here
it.
it comes. That's it. Ever so gently. If you find you're having to put a great deal of pressure on this, you're doing it wrong. Let me stand up and have a go at it.
How do you move the thing up?
What do you mean?
Because then,
You want to move it up like this?
yeah.
Pull it gently.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you take it there. Can you see it?
Sort of.
Good.
Oops.
It's coming gently.
Not incredibly strong.
Don't worry, we're all beginners. That's it, and I hope you can see the benefit of using a dirty shirt. That's one out. Right. Oh, something I haven't taken out is the battery. There. Don't need that. Oh, and of course. Yes, more screws. Oh dear, this is not a very good video, is it? But since I don't plan to repeat it, you'll just have to watch it, mistakes and all. Okay, can you see these 3 screws here? You can? Good.
Hang on.
Well, they've got to come out. Do whatever is necessary not to strip the heads of the screws. I'm quite good at stripping heads, and I don't want to do it with this machine. Let's try that one. Here it comes.
Your hand is in the way.
Sorry. There you are. My hand will not be in the way for the next one. Out we come, ever so gently. I did ask Mummy not to move around too much, but never mind. Right. Where were we? Ah, yes, getting the case off. So let's go back to this and let me see where we've got to. Ah, yes, that's a useful place. Right, let's take the CD drive out. Have I undone the CD screw? No, I haven't. Another screw that I haven't undone. Kidding me. Not a professional job, is it? Right. Let's knock that out onto the shirt. There it is. Oh look, another one's dropped out. There, see? Can you see the screws? Oopsie daisy. Keep them all together, preferably black on white, so that you don't end up looking around for them later on. Right, now what am I doing? Ah yes, let's go back to this. Now that you've undone that screw, the DVD drive comes straight out, and that goes out of the way, which gives me much more room to work on at this point. And let's see what is the best way to get the back end of this off. Thumbnails when all else fails.
Good thing we can't see you.
Ah, that's it, it's coming. Or I've broken something, but I don't think I've broken anything. It's a question of getting these, that's it, they just come out with a bit of gentle force. That's it. As I said, you must be extremely careful with this, getting it off so that you can put it back on again. Here we come, here we come.
Arm's in the way.
Sorry. My daughter tells my arm is in the way. That's a flat-headed blade. Yes, whenever I watch YouTube videos, everything is so easy. Ah, here it comes, here it comes. Let's see what I can do with this screwdriver. That's dropping out. And I do believe that once I've got this bit off, the whole thing should just fall out. Another one out. Ah. Aha. What I might do is edit this bit out so that you just see the stripped down computer. On the other hand, it does no harm, I suppose, to keep the camera running and to leave it.
Edit it out.
My daughter says I should edit this out. We'll have a look at it later on. Oh, there it is. It's
No,
all fine.
It's because I accidentally shook the camera.
Oh dear.
I shook it a few times.
Daddy will be angry. Right.
Let's edit this part out.
Well, we'll think about editing. Now, let's see where we're at. There's this last bit here that isn't moving. Is there another screw by any chance? I don't think there is. Let's have a look. Is there another screw here? 1, 2, 3 screws out. Ah! Aha! And this is why it's ever so important to get all of the screws out. I suppose the excuse I could give is that every one of these computers is different and you don't always know where the screws are. Right, so let's have a look now. Let's shake those out over the shirt. Right, well, that's one of them out. Where is the other one? There it is. Now, once you have all of the screws out, you should be able to get the thing out. Ah, here it comes. That's a good sign. So that's out, that's out, that's out. That's a hopeful sound. And let's see what that is. I think that's everything out. Let's give that screw another twirl to see if it's still holding anywhere. No, it shouldn't be. And what's this? Oh, another screw. Searching what that's doing there, but it isn't there now. Right, so that is a screw gone on the floor. Wait a moment, everyone. Ah, there it is. That's it. Right.
You didn't show it slow enough.
Pardon?
You didn't show it slow enough.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right, so let's see if everything is out. Right. I think we're getting there, we're getting there, we're getting there. Ah. That's it. this is worth doing, because what I'm hoping is that when I put the case back on, it will not look as though anyone's had its pieces. No screws, 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 right. A few days ago I watched somebody dismantle a computer rather like this in a YouTube video, and I said to myself, I can do that, no problem. Well, I'm sure I can, it's just that it's not as quick as I might have hoped. But wait a minute, we're getting there. Now there is one last thing that you need to remove. There is a little item here that needs to be removed. Unplug it. There. And this should, unless there's a screw still in here somewhere, or unless, there. We're almost there. Almost. Finger and table knife and click. There it is. There is the hard disk and the bottom of the computer, and here is the computer. This is what I wanted to get at, and I'm very glad to see, can you see it? This is what I'm working on. Mm-hmm. You can see it? Good. Mm-hmm. Right. Now,
are you just going to be working on that?
Yes, I think so.
Good. Because I'm zooming into it.
Right. Fan. This is the copper heatsink. Here you have the processor, which gets very hot indeed. Chipset there. The processor communicates its heat to this piece of copper, which then moves down here into this, and you've got the fan, which spins thousands of times every minute, pushing the heat out of the computer. And this is the source of all my trouble. And so what I will do is take this all off, if I can. Yep, take it all off, replace the fan, and then it should be as good as the day I got the thing home from John Lewis. So first of all, we unscrew these. I don't think these come off. No, they're not. They're on springs which keep them as part of the heatsink, which is lucky for me. It's screws that I don't have to worry about losing. That's off. That's off. Can you see what I'm doing?
Yep.
Good.
I had to zoom out a bit.
Yeah.
Because it was just a bit too close.
Yes. And where's the fan? Ah, yes, there it is. There's another screw here. And that has come out. Is that the fan? Yes, it is. And I can feel, indeed, you may be able to see the entire thing just lifting off. Well, it should just lift off. Why is it not lifting off? There's something I haven't unscrewed. getting there? That one needs to be unscrewed, I think. Yes. Yes! Oh, unplug the thing as well. There. And there it is. I've taken the fan out of the computer, and now I will put the computer out of sight. I'll put it somewhere. Over here, I think. And we'll have a quick coffee break. Yummy. Okay, where is the new fan? Here is the new fan, and it is KSB ending HB. Good. I've got the right part from eBay. It would have been deeply embarrassing to get this far in the video only to find myself with the wrong piece of equipment. Yes, they seem to match. And so I need to get the fan away from the heatsink. Can you see everything I'm doing?
Yep.
Good. And there are screws somewhere that hold the fan onto the heatsink. Oh, here they are. Don't know how many there are, but there are some. And again, I don't wish to lose these little screws. Ah, that's coming off. That's coming off, no problem at all. Again, put it over there on your piece of white kitchen towel. And there's another screw going over there. So that's 2 screws I've taken off. I think there should be 4. Well, here's number 3 coming off. Can you see the screw coming off, Philippa?
Mhm. My hand is getting weaker.
Your hand is hurting?
Mhm.
Well, let me have the camera.
Yeah, but then it will fall. No, it will go like that, and then you won't be able to see.
Well, what you do is you turn the screw like so, and there. Shall I start again with that? Can you see what I'm doing?
Mhm.
Good. The noise is my wife moving around. I did ask her not to, but I might as well have spoken to my cup of coffee. There it is, the little screw is off. And I think there's one more. Let's peel that back. Yes, there's one more screw. If you can see what I'm doing. Tap it off. Won't tap off. Now this should... it's coming. Now why is it holding? It's not holding there. Oh, of course. Need to take this off. Peel that back. I don't know what the function of this is, but having taken it off, I don't plan to lose it. That's it. Right, is that it? No, there is one more screw. So let's have a go at that. One more screw to come out. Right. Why is this not coming off?
Stop moving so much.
Sorry. Let's try.
It makes it even more shakier for the video.
Well, you don't need to keep your hand on the camera.
I do.
Why?
Because otherwise it will just go down again.
What you do is you twist
I have.
and it should go tight as anything.
Yeah, it's just so I need to. so that I can turn it when when I need to.
I suppose I could have shut the back door. All I can hear is those wretched seabirds.
I'll do it.
No, don't do anything. The screw is moving freely. So why is it not coming off? Right. So close, and I can't get the last screw off. I'm going to try levering it off. What's that? That's a little... Keep unscrewing, I might be able to pull it away like so. Yeah. Look at that. I've got the whole thing apart. This is the cause of the trouble. It is the fan. What you have is, can you see this central spindle? Yeah. Well, what it does is it sits within this electromagnet here, and it spins faster and faster and faster. It spins thousands and thousands of times, and eventually, after several years, what happens is that the spindle begins to rock a little free within that hole shaft, and it begins to make a noise like an electric toothbrush. And then if you leave it, it will get looser and looser and looser until eventually it just stops spinning at all. At that point, you are looking at component death inside the computer, and you don't want that. Now, I seem to have thermal paste all over my hand, so let me get my other piece of kitchen towel. Right, there it is. Clean off the old thermal paste. You may want to clean it off with a bit of alcohol, but this is quite nice. It hasn't turned to powder, and so you can just get the stuff off like so, and you've got a nice, clean, smooth surface for attaching to the processor. Now, we do not want to see this again. I do not want to put this back into the computer. This is the old one, and so this goes over here out of sight, and this is the new one, which I hope will go straight back on here, and then I can start reversing the process and put the computer back together. Now, this is the screw holes seem to match up, which means that they probably do match up. Yes, they do. So, can you see what I'm doing? Good. I find the right screw. I suppose what I could have done was to keep all the screws of different sizes in different places, but, well, let's just get on with it. Just shove it in. Now here, that's it, let's have a look, that's it. I think that goes in like so. No, it doesn't. Oh, I've got a thought. what you do is you push the screwdriver into the head of the Phillips screw. What it's supposed to do is to hold. We'll do it this way. Well, what I need to do is to use my extraordinarily large and shaking fingers to get this back into the appropriate hole. Ah, well, it's going in. It's in. I'm amazed, it's actually going in. Can you imagine it? Screws going into the right hole. And let's have a look, let's get that in. No, that's not going in, so I'm going to take it out again. It seems to be jammed. And so, being very careful, I just unjam it, and it's, I think it's going in. It's going in right now. Is it going in right? Yes, yes, yes. I think. My daughter is taking a break from the camera. I, unfortunately, cannot take a break. Hold on. That's screw number 3. Sorry, move it round so that the viewers can see it. Right, what's a daisy?
Only a short break.
You don't. Yes, I don't know why these screws have to be so small. It goes in there, securing the fan to the heat sink. Bugger. Let's have a look and see what I can do about this. It would help if I could see the screw. Perhaps I could ask my daughter to put the thing in. No, that's not. Though her hands are somewhat smaller than mine and somewhat less prone to shake. Right, let's have another go at this. Oh, why not? That's a little bit of spit on that. And that should then hold onto the screwdriver. No.
Should I do it?
No, I'll do it. I got the thing out, I'll get it back in. Yes. No. Yes. Well, I think so. Will that do? No, not really, no. One of the things about getting older is that your hands shake a bit more than they did, and I always did shake a lot. The other thing is that, injury, health and safety. As I say, the other thing is that your eyes are no longer as sharp as they once were, but I'm getting there, and this is the last screw, and this will go in just so, if I can find out. That's a bit of spit on it to hold it in place, and let's see what I can do. Oh, you don't need to keep touching the camera.
I do.
Do you? Why?
Because your hands keep moving.
Oh, sorry. Well, I think this is the last screw for the fan. There it is. And I think this is it. Right, now is that holding firmly? I do believe it is. Right. I have reattached the fan to the heatsink. There are no screws left over, and I think all the screws are well seated, very well seated. I'll give it one last, what's that doing? Do I strip that one? If I could see it, I'd be able to tell you. No, whether I have stripped it or not is unimportant. What matters, is that a screw in there? Is that a screw? Yes, I think it is. Everything is back together, and I take this piece of tape and I press it back into place along here. And we are now ready to go into reverse and start putting everything back together. And so let's get these screwdrivers out of the way, put them over here. Oh, and a slurp of coffee. Let's find where I put the computer. Oh, here it is, here it is. Now where does this thing go? Ah, there it is, yes. What I'm going to do is to focus on there. Yes? Okay, again, clean off the old thermal paste. And I have here a bottle of alcohol.
Tight.
Don't worry, just focus in on what I'm doing and leave it. That's it. I take some alcohol on a piece of kitchen towel.
Try not to move so much because my hand is so terrible right now and I can't use the other one.
Oh, sorry about that. But never
because
mind.
This is my weak hand and I can't use it.
Oh, right. That's it, get all the old thermal paste off. Don't want too much of that around. And that's it. Here is the new thermal paste, and according to the instructions I read, you should put the smallest amount possible. Well, actually no, because a very small amount is a very small amount. You should put a small amount, like so, there on the chipset, and here on the processor. Don't put any more. Don't spread it around because it will spread itself around. And I seem to have made a thread of thermal paste going across the motherboard, and so that needs to come off pronto. That's it. Right. Now, have I done everything?
There's still more.
Hmm?
There's still more.
Where? Well, I can't see any. Well, oh, that doesn't matter. Oh, right on.
I can see it on the camera. It's so much easier because it's brighter.
Yes. Oh, good. Well, the viewers will be able to see more than I can. There, I think that's all right, isn't it? Yeah.
Daddy,
Yes?
does it matter if my hand's in the way?
If your hand is in front of the lens, it does matter.
Yeah, but...
No, don't worry about that. Right, now what am I doing next? Oh yes, I'm putting this back together. And let's have a last check to make sure that the fan is attached to the heatsink in the appropriate way, and I do believe it is. And I put it back in. So that it drops just into place. My God, I think I've done it. That's amazing, isn't it? What was it? Nice, that's it. So, reverse the process, put the screws back in. And that's it, go to a push. I think that's in.
How much longer?
Oh, not much longer.
Good. Because there's 3 more hours, 15 minutes left.
It won't take 3 hours and 15 minutes, not even for Daddy. That's it. Get that screwed in. You need to make sure these are screwed properly in, they need to hold. You need to push the heatsink against the processor and those other components which heat up. You need to get a perfect bond between the various parts so the heat is communicated. What's that doing? The heat is communicated. Is that coming up? Sorry. The heat is communicated to this piece of copper and moved along into there, and the fan just pushes it straight out. And there's another screw. This is the screw that holds the fan itself onto the motherboard, and let me find, oh, that's just the one I want.
Both of my hands are tied because I have to hold this as well.
Okay.
So it doesn't...
Right. Well, never mind.
But mostly my right hand does.
Yes. Can you see this screw hole here?
I'll zoom in.
Yeah, go on. I'll put my hand in the way. Now we need to make sure that the fan is attached firmly to the motherboard, and I do believe I've done it. Now let's give another tighten to these. Yes. Right. Okay. Why don't you zoom out a bit and have a rest? Because I'm not doing anything very exciting at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do I get this thing in? Let's have a look. There's a particular way this goes in. Let's see. Where's the old one? Right, the red thing should go on the left. Right, the red cable goes on the left, or it goes on my left, or the left at whatever I'm looking from. And that should just fit in. It should just snap into place like amazing. It does. It snaps straight into place. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've done anything so neat ever with my computer experiments. And now I do believe I have mended the computer fan. And now what I have to do is go away. Oh, give it a good. That's it. It's a nice clean computer in the general sense, so it doesn't need much in the way of cleaning out. What I now need to do... Does it smell?
Uh-huh.
Oh, never mind. What I now need to do is to put the cover back on. What do I do with the... Where is it? Ah. There. Is that the way? I don't think it is. This is the way. Now, is there anything I have not done properly? Because I don't want to take this all to pieces again. Let's have another last go at that. I do not want any laxity of these screws. They must all be tight as the day they were put on by little Chinese girls of 14. That's it. And is there anything that I haven't put back in? I don't think so. So, we start the process of reassembling. And where does that go? Ah, yes, that goes here. Okay. You need to plug this back in down here. If I were a particular expert in these matters, I would tell you what this plugs in. But since I'm not a particular expert, all I'll say is you need to make sure it is plugged in, because it was plugged in when I took it to pieces, so it should be plugged in when I put it back together. If only I could get it into the hole. Oh. I think I need another screwdriver. Let's use that one, that might get it in. Ah! Did you see that? It just went straight back in. Isn't that wonderful?
I was looking there.
Never mind, you can look at the video when we edit it.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is where we clip it all back into place, assuming that everything is where it ought to be. And so I stand up and I go clip. That's it. Clip. It goes together much easier. Yes, generally it goes together much easier than it came apart. And now, oh hold on, the hard disk needs to be pushed back in there. The hard disk is re-engaged. And now I need to sort out which screw goes where. And I think these little screws hold the hard disk. I'm focusing on these screw holes at the moment. And let's find the appropriate screwdriver. Oh dear. What shape is that? Phillips? Yes, yes, yes. Are you moving that tripod, Philippa?
I'm trying not to. It's just, it's too strong for me.
Heavy?
Mm-hmm.
That's because I didn't trust you with the light tripod.
It hurts my arm.
Never mind, never mind.
I'm not that strong.
You will be. And so you need to make sure that all of these screws go back on. But where are they? Is that the right screw? Yes, in my experience, if in doubt, push the screw in and see if it goes in all the way down. If it does, then it's probably the right screw. Yep. So, what I have done so far is to put the hard disk back to the computer. What do I do with the DVD-ROM drive? Ah, it's over here. And so, let me, the viewers need something to look at. You put this back in like so. Like so. And you put this in like so. Sort of like so, that's it. And now we start putting all the screws in that we earlier took out. And I will begin, I think, with these 3 screws here, because they're the smallest and the ones that I can see least. Yes. Now, computer manufacturers would do well, I suggest, to make their cases white with red screws, because then even I could see the things. Instead, I'm looking at black on black, and I seem to have a screw left over. Oh no, I haven't. No, I don't have a screw left over. That's it. We don't want any loose screws either. Now let's see, what's this one? Oh yes, that goes in here. Yes, I think it does. If it doesn't, it'll come out again. Perhaps I have the right screw.
What part are you focusing on?
This bit. I think in general you're just showing the skill and certainty with which I'm placing all the screws. But one moment. That's it. Right, so I drop another screw in here.
Do something.
Okay, you go and sort yourself out, Philippa. But don't go too far away, I shall need you. This is the screw that fixes the DVD-ROM. The DVD drive, rather, yes, that's it. And this is, it's another screw.
I hope I didn't miss your hand.
No, you didn't miss anything. All I'm doing is putting screws back in. What are you doing? A fly? Well, it won't hurt you.
No, computer.
It won't hurt the computer either.
No, in your face.
Oh, that's the screwdriver that I want. let's have a look. That one. And I've got two more big screws. Where do they go? There's screws there. Oh, there's a screw here needed. Let's stick that in. Yes, we don't want to be left over with spare screws, do we? Right, and I have one more big screw, and I don't know where it goes. Oh, it goes here. Let's sit down to do that. Oopsie daisy. By the way, Philippa, have you been filming my belly?
No.
Does my belly get in the way?
No.
Good.
It's just your head and hands.
Oh,
your hands have to. But
well,
head.
Yeah, hands have to get in the way. And head occasionally. And what else?
I'm trying not to do your belly.
Good. That's a good girl. Now, let's...
Just don't put it too close because I have to go near your body.
That's all right. This is the last screw, Philippa. And let's put that on. And then battery. And there it is. Your notebook computer has a replacement fan. A swift and simple operation, and we can hope a successful operation. I press the on switch. Stand away, Philippa. You wouldn't want the thing to explode. And it seems to be coming on. Really? Can you see this?
Yep.
Let me turn it round.
Oh, the light's turning. Let me switch the lights off.
The lights?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's reflecting.
No. All I need to do is to move this. I need to move the monitor a bit, like so. Yes, that's fine, is it? Right. Well, let's see what's happening. It's taking its time, but there does seem to be power going through the motherboard. Oh. Ah, yes. And if those seabirds would shut up, we might be able not to hear the fan. Well, obviously the computer's had something of a surprise, and it's thinking about whether to wake up.
Daddy?
Yes?
It's much lighter on the camera, so they might not be able to see as good as it on there.
Well, never mind.
Because it's lighter colour.
Well, I suppose something I should check is whether the fan is indeed turning. Yeah, there's something in there. I can hear something. And let's let's encourage the thing a bit by plugging in the power supply. Things always go a bit faster with a bit of AC mains. Oh, that's it, nice and bright. And let's see what's happening. Can you see that there's nothing there? Good, good, good. It looks as though...
You can barely see the white circle.
Well, never mind. How about that?
Still.
How about that?
That's bad.
Is it that? Never mind.
Never mind.
Well, the thing is that the little dotty circle thing is going round and round, and look at that. I think I've done it. Or rather, of course I've done it. And so this is how you replace the fan in a notebook computer. Okay, you can switch the camera off now. I've done it. I have taken my notebook computer to pieces. I have taken out the old fan. I've put in a new fan. I've put it all together, and there are no screws left over, and it works. Look. Seeing is believing. The fan is making the quietest sound consistent with its revolution. And I hope and I believe that this computer will give me many more years of fun and profit. And before saying farewell to you, my patient viewers, not readers, I would like to give a special thanks to my little daughter Philippa, who has filmed this difficult operation with good humour and with patience. Come on. Say hello to our millions of YouTube fans.
Hello.
Okay, that's a good girl. Thank you for watching.